I'm sure. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. It's okay. Did you leave something? You need this? Hey guys, welcome to Emotional Mondays. My name is Dr. Antoinette Brookins. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a pastor's wife in Fresno, California. And here on this channel, we talk about all things Jesus and how to manage our mental health using faith-based practices. All right, guys. So you just saw me making a little exchange with my brand new grandbaby. So yes, so as you guys kind of see, it kind of got like a little, I don't know, whatever, little makeshift background or whatever. I mean, listen, this is real life. If y'all have not figured that out by now, Holy Ghost homegirls, y'all, it just be real life, right? And so I'm spending some time here. With my daughter, helping her to get acclimated to new motherhood. And it is just an absolute joy being sleep deprived and all. So, guys, I wanted to. I wanted to talk about something that we talked about last week, okay? Because so last week, as you guys know, I was responding to some topics that viewers had, given me, and some questions that the viewers had given me, and the questions were directed at me, right? And so I wanted to make sure that I gave them my most authentic, real answer to real life stuff. And so somebody had a follow-up question and they wanted me to dig a little bit deeper. And so today I do want to talk a little bit more about body image, and I want to talk about healing the little girl in the mirror, and I want to talk about, how to come to terms with, where you are, right? And so, now, this is kind of a sensitive subject, right? Because last time I shared my weight loss story, right, and how I was on Ozempic, and like I said, the viewer asked me to go deeper. So, as you guys know, I lost almost 20 pounds, almost 20 pounds, being on the Ozempic because of the type 2 diabetes and things like that, right? So although the doctor did want me to lose some weight, I was not expecting to be losing that much weight. And I was not expecting to, be horrified by what I saw in the mirror. Okay. And so, it did not feel like a victory, although my numbers did decrease. I mean, I just have to be honest, it did not feel victorious to me, because I'm like, okay, so now my numbers have decreased, but my self-esteem has depleted, right? And so, although I was making medical gains, you know what I mean? Now my jeans don't fit. Now my clothes don't fit. And so now I'm trying to figure out, like, what am I going to do with this tint of a dress that I'm wearing now? Or how do I come to terms with that, right? All of the work that I had done in the gym, like, 4 years of just hitting it hard in the gym to gain all this muscle mass and to start really, really feeling confident and comfortable, with the person that I was seeing in the mirror, to all of a sudden, like, within a matter of a couple of months, it's like, who is this person that I'm looking at? Right. And so, you know, being a pastor's wife means that I'm visible. Okay, it means that I'm visible. People notice, like, everything, like everything. If I change my hair, they notice. If I part my hair on a different side, they notice. If I change my nail color, they notice. If I have a run in my stockings, they notice. You know what I mean? They notice everything, right? And it's like, I ain't mad at it, but sometimes I don't want to be under a like in a fishbowl or under a microscope, especially when I'm not feeling good about myself. Right. And so, and with people noticing, folks, how you doing, Sister Crystal? And so, with people noticing things, like, sometimes, like, here comes the comments, right? And it's like, Now, the fun comments, I'm like, cool, bring them on. Like, you know what I mean? Like the fast comments and stuff like that. I mean, that's just girls being girls. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Right. You know, but, but with that, are the comments like, man, you lost a lot of weight. Like, oh my gosh, like, are you eating? Like, are you sick? And it's like, man, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's hard, right? That's hard because, you know, even if they're well meaning, well, if I was struggling just to get to church and get enough nerve to walk on that stage, you know what I mean, with my dress hanging off of me like a tent, well, man, like, for somebody to come and say, man, you sure have lost a lot of weight. Okay. Right? You know what I mean? So that can be hard, but but it's especially when you've been working to do something different or you're hoping that somebody didn't notice that this time. You know what I mean? But goodness, can I say that there is such a double standard? There is such a double standard. And so this is what I want to one of the things that I wanted to talk about because one of the viewers talked about the double standard, because she had lost a lot of her weight and lost some of her curves, you know what I mean? And the double standard of people being able to tell you how skinny you done got, right? So when you have smaller bodies, you know, um, it still feels invasive. It still feels invasive, right? So if you were a larger frame, we would call that body shaming, wouldn't we? We would call that body shaming. But when you're smaller, it's like people get a pass to say how thin you are or that you need to eat some meat and potatoes or, you know what I mean? Don't skip no more meals or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, but I want to say that both are unacceptable. Both are unacceptable, right? So, um, every comment about somebody's business. I mean, I'm sorry, every comment about somebody's body. I want to say that this is their business and not someone else's, right? You know what I mean? And not someone else's, right? It's probably a personal journey that they're going on, right? And so you know, there's an identity shift, right? And I'm going deeper because somebody has asked me to do this, right? There really is an identity shift, right? And it's you're grieving your familiar self. Okay. So when you like lose your curves um when your body is changing, you feel like you're losing a part of yourself, right? Especially in communities that celebrate certain looks, right? So especially in our black and brown communities where there's an expectation to have a have some curves, have a little meat on your bones, know gosh, it's hard when you've lost that part of yourself. It's very difficult when you've lost that part of yourself, right? And so now with social media and fake bodies and all of that kind of stuff, every culture is showing up with curves, whether they're natural or otherwise, right? Because like that is the in thing right now. That's the in thing right now to emulate quite frankly, the black and the Brazilian bodies that are just really shapely and and things like that. So yeah, I mean, and I know that there are some other cultures who are naturally, bodacious and things like that. But it's like, you know, but it's a lot of that. It's a real push for that right now. And so, you know, so even when the change in your body was medically driven, it still causes one to grieve, right? And so the grief is valid, regardless, right? It's valid regardless. Let me see. Sister Crystal says, either way, it's okay. It's not okay. It's the never ending challenge when it comes to body image. Right. And so recently, y'all, I made an AI depiction, like of my current self, and it's actually on the thumbnail, right? Of my current self hugging the little girl in me. And it was so crazy how healing that was for me. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even really know how to explain it. But that little girl with the crooked teeth, with the broken off hair, you know what I mean? Who was often mistaken for a little boy, you know what I mean? It's like when I saw, and I'm starting to get emotional now, but when I saw myself hugging that little girl in me, it was exactly what I needed. I mean, I don't even really know how to explain it, but it was exactly what I needed, right? Um, because healing her wasn't cosmetic, right? It was spiritual, it was emotional. I had to reconcile with the little girl's story. I had to reconcile with her story, right? Her story of not being enough, of always being too skinny, hair always being too short, teeth always being too crooked, nose always being too broad, skin always being too brown. You know what I mean? With the woman that I am today, learning to love my brown skin, my melanated skin, my thick ethnic nose. And Crystal, you had posted something on your page one time, and it just gave me such a tickle, and I love it, and I've been using it ever since. But girl, that bell pepper nose, I'm like, that's it. But I love it, that thick ethnic nose, these full ethnic lips. It's like, man, it's like, I mean, this deeply melanated skin. It's like, love it, love it, love it. Every kink and coil that's in my hair, although I wear my hair short and permed now, it's by choice and not because I didn't like the kinks or the coils that's in my hair, right? It's just that I am 50 plus years old now, and I have to be able to keep a hairstyle. And so I had to do something chemically in order to be able to do that, right? But I mean, I think it's important how that little girl shows up today, right? So she may appear as insecure, right? Fear of comments or overcorrecting to please others. That's sometimes how our little girl may show up. Okay. Um, so when you find yourself defensive or excessively, people pleasing, that's often her protective voice. That's the little girl in you trying to protect, right? Trying to ward off danger, right? And so, like when I hugged my little self, it was like I was telling her that you are safe. Praise the Lord. I'm evangelist. Like you are safe. Like I see you. I'm sorry I wasn't as kind to you as I should have been, right? Because the things that I said to her based on other people's perception. Right. And so I see it sometimes trying to show up when I walk on stage and I'm thin, right? Thinner than I would like to be. And people point it out, right? That little girl shows up, right? But the difference is now, is she's still walking out on that stage. She's not hiding in the bathroom at lunchtime no more. I'm still walking out. All 115 pounds of me walking out on that stage, right? Bearing that smile that only the Lord can give me. Right? Do I always like what I see? No. Do the clothes fit? No, they don't. They don't really fit. And guess what? They ain't all that flattering. But like I told y'all last week, I just went and bought some more clothes because I needed something that actually fit this version of me. This version of me. Right? Because I have to love every version of myself. And I'm not talking about the carnal man, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person that I see in the mirror. I have to be able to reconcile with that person, whomever it is, wherever I am, right? Too big, too small, whatever. This is who I am in this season, right? And so that's where we at, right? So but I have to protect that person, right? Right. And that also means that I have to have the appropriate boundaries in place and letting people know that's not cool. That's not okay. That was hurtful. Do we have to comment on everything? Right? I ain't clapping back. God forbid, because that ain't the person that I am anymore. It ain't fruitful, right? Instead, I state my truth. It makes me feel uncomfortable when you comment on my weight right now. I feel very self conscious about that. And I've told people that, and they say, oh, but you look good. You still look good. Well, why'd you mention it? Why'd you bring it up? What was the point of bringing it up? Right? Now, if you liked the way it looked, then you should have led with that. Oh, I like your new way. Oh, well, thank you. Right? So, I want to talk about some practical ways to care for yourself right now. Right? So again, dress the season you're in. Buy clothes that fit you right now. I'm not talking about going out, breaking the bank, spending thousands of dollars on new clothes, especially if you know you're trying to shift your body weight, but you need to bring in a couple of staple pieces, right? That you can kind of pull through, right? So that you can look good right now, so that you could feel better in the clothes that you're wearing right now, right? Like, but it's not to give up, but it's to honor who you are right now. You will feel better. You will feel better. I felt terrible wearing that tent of a dress that didn't fit because it just made me look absolutely smaller than I was because the dress was hanging all off of me in every area. Right. I packed up a lot of clothes, put them away. Right. Because my desire is to get back to my weight, to pick my weight back up, but I ain't there yet. I packed them up, put them away in some bins, and I asked Bishop Bay if he could put them in the attic for me, right? Because I'm not trying to clutter up my space, right? So, also, here's another thing: build a body gratitude practice. Name things your body does for you every day. So yes, I'm thinner than I would like to be. But man, these legs get me to and fro. I'm able to walk without any pain. Right? I'm able to breathe a little bit easier. Yes, my numbers did go down. Right? Celebrate your body for the way it is working and showing up for you. Right? Set health goals, not image goals. Work with professionals when you need to. Focus on strength, energy, and rest, right? This is about honoring the season that you're in, right? And then limit the noise. Man, it's like so many social media pages or whatever that really exacerbate comparison. It's like, it's too much. It's too much. Today I had to turn off some things. I had to turn off some things, right? And it wasn't about necessarily body image, right? But it was some other things that were trying to speak to me. It was trying to speak to me. And I was like, get thee behind me, Satan, right? So I had to unfollow some people, not because they were bad people, but because I was getting caught up in comparison. And that's not where I want to be. Right. So you got to silence the noise, unfollow the pages that cause you to feel bad about your current self. Again, I'm not talking about the spirit man right now. I'm talking about the person you actually visibly see in the mirror. Okay. So, as a licensed marriage and family therapist, I know how cognitive work helps. Okay. And so we have to challenge negative self beliefs. Okay. So, and as a woman of faith, I know prayer and scripture and God's reframing are essential. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. Yep. Whether you're over your desired weight or under your desired weight, you are beautifully and wonderfully made, right? It's like it's about accepting where you are right now, right? So when you combine both, you speak truth over your body and practice small therapeutic exercises like daily affirmations. Like, girl, you look pretty good today, right? You know, write yourself a compassionate letter, right? Especially if you're trying to heal your younger self that's showing up, right? So, again, responding to comments in real time. Thank you for your concern. If it's like, girl, you getting so skinny, girl, you getting so big. Thank you for your concern. I'm under a doctor's care, if that is the truth. Or thank you for your concern. I'm working on it. Right. I prefer that we may not make comments about my body. Right. Or a redirect. Girl, let's talk about how you doing instead. Right. I mean, we don't owe anybody an explanation. We don't. We don't owe anybody an explanation. Right. So we have to reframe our worth and our purpose here. Your value is not measured. My value, our value is not measured by our curves or the lack thereof. It's not, y'all. Not by pounds or by anybody's approval. And healing the little girl helps you to show up more fully in ministry, right? By coming to terms with that little girl the way that I have, right? It's like, it really is okay. When I look back at her, she wasn't all that bad. She was actually a cute little girl, right? I just didn't know it then. I just didn't know it then. But when you love her, you free her voice to encourage others, right? And to protect yourself. Like, this used to be my issue, but not anymore. And let me tell you why. So, if you are struggling with body image, too much weight, too little weight, whatever, maybe it's a skin thing. I don't know. Right? You know, I want you to find one of your childhood pictures. And I want you to minister to that little girl just like you would if she showed up at the altar. Some of us are intercessors, some of us are prayer warriors, some of us have the gift of discernment and all of those kinds of good things, the ability to encourage. So if you're still struggling with body image, find a picture of yourself, a little girl, like your little girl picture, right? And then I want you to minister to her. It might sound silly, but it's so healing because typically our body image stuff started as a little girl, right? And it carries on into adulthood, right? And no, it doesn't mean that our issues are invalid. Yes, we want to gain the weight. Yes, we want to lose the weight, whatever, right? But we have to love the season that we're in right now. Because if we don't love the season that we're in right now, we will gravitate to unhealthy measures in order to reach our goals, right? But when we learn to love the season that we're in and to accept the season that we're in, then we will make healthy choices to eat the right food and not go for a compassion meal or an emotional an emotional meal, right? Or pick up things that are just high in calories and fat because we're trying to pack on the pounds, because that damages the physical heart, the physical body, the physical arteries, right? Likewise, with trying to lose weight, right? We go on starvation diets, or we pick up whatever fad that may be rolling across our timeline. But asking the Lord to heal us, to help us accept that this is the season that we're in right now, and that He give us the right resources. Yes, this is an emotional conversation. It's an emotional conversation. Crystal is saying, be your best version of yourself and love the woman in the mirror in every season. Every season. Seek the Lord for resources. But ladies, boundaries are going to be so important. Like, that's not okay. Right? Just tell them it's not okay. Right? But seek the Lord. Continue to seek the Lord, guys. Right? Because He will help us. He will help us. He will help us to love who we see in the mirror. Right? All right, ladies, listen, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If this blessed you, if you don't mind just sharing it with somebody who may need to hear this, right? Yeah. So listen, y'all, to the women of Bethesda, I miss you guys so much. Thank you for your prayers. Keep praying for me. Ty and the baby, they're doing very well. Prayerfully, we can be home next week if all goes well. If not, I'll see y'all after the council. You know what I mean? But you know, um, but until then, I'll keep watching y'all on Facebook Live. Okay. All right. Listen, guys. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.